episode of Literary Gladiators, the show where we discuss and debate literature in all of its forms. If it's written work, it's game. Let's meet the panel.
Hi, I'm Larry.
I'm Ari.
I'm Charlie, wearing a kilt, again.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Josh.
Give me an F!
F!
Give me an I!
I!
Give me an S!
S!
Give me an H!
H!
What's that spell?
I love
Fish!
fish!
What's that spell?
Fish!
What's that spell?
I'm a
What's
Fish!
that spell?
Fish!
Yay!
Yeah, Karantha!
I'm in uniform.
What are we doing?
So,
Okay.
I do
Good
love
thing I
fish.
just fill out the whole thing. We'd be here all day.
I wasn't going to do the other version.
Well, we were up till 4 a.m.
Alrighty. Today we're going to be going over a short story from
I want
Fantasy and
fish
Science
now.
Fiction's November-December 2023 edition.
Fish.
And I would say out of the first
Baked fish and
6
potatoes.
episodes of the season, this
Fish.
might be my favorite work.
Episodes? Oh, you mean of the... Okay. never mind.
Of the episodes from the first 6 of the
Gotcha.
season. This is one of the best modern short stories that I've read.
Sorry, I want fish now. So.
And
What's it called, Josh?
it's called Karantha Fish.
Give me an F! No.
And it was written by Amal Singh.
Yeah.
And the discussion starter that I have for this is this.
Raw olive oil.
In Karantha Fish, Kalpana's uncle, Prebu, comes down with Barome's flu. The most effective cure is to consume the tidal fish, though consuming it goes against the beliefs of the Asurans that they only eat from the land and not the sea.
Yeah.
This story could have taken one of two directions. The first is that of Kalpana's quest to obtain the Karantha fish and get it to her uncle on time. The second is that of obtaining the Karantha fish quickly, getting it to him, and seeing him survive, but having to pay the consequences as a result.
Which is what happened.
This story takes the second direction.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel this was the correct decision to go, and why?
I think so.
I like it. If I may start off by saying, I kind of missed that part where the gods frowned upon eating fish. I mean, anything that was in the sea or whatnot.
They mentioned it right at the beginning.
Okay, then I must. It's been a while since I've read this, and I read it twice, and it was really, really good. And just putting it out there, but yeah, now I remember. Excuse me, but why? The first thing that I'm thinking of is, why would this reminds me? First of all, it reminds me of those. And I'm not speaking ill of anyone or anything or any religion, but it reminds me of those. I believe the Christian national scientists or Christian scientists. Like they don't believe in medicine, or they don't believe in. They're afraid if they give their loved one medicine or actual legitimate medical care, they're gonna be like. That's kind of how I got it. That like, well, you took some Karantha fish, so off to the 9 layers. It's like
It's
They believe in the prayer would
yeah,
cure.
prayer cures everything, but
It's interesting because in Judaism there's this stuff about keeping kosher, and I know in
Yes.
Muslim there's like eating halal or whatever
yeah,
the
it's
equivalent.
very strict.
But the thing is that it actually says in the Torah that if someone is sick, you can break certain laws in order to make them better. Or to heal them.
Yes.
So, like for instance, would be a good example is if during the Sabbath you're not supposed to rip things with words in tradition, but like if you need to get a band-aid for someone who's bleeding, like that's okay.
Yeah.
Just a very basic example.
Yeah.
Similar with Catholic faith. There's
yeah.
there's rules for fasting, but the rules if you have a health condition.
Yeah, there's a fast day coming up for me. Coming up where I've agreed with my doctor that I could only fast until 4 p.m. because of certain medical conditions I have. We came up with an agreement. But the interesting thing about Karantha fish is that I feel that it's a very simple concept, but it's intertwined in such a way where it feels like it's a brand new whole. It is a brand new, whole new, complete world that the world building that Singh is putting into this story. I initially found the story hard to grasp because there were so many new concepts and new words, but I think rereading it was definitely helpful.
I agree.
But it's just interesting that it's basically somebody wants to save a life, and the only way to do it is by breaking a rule.
Mm-hmm.
And
So many ethical and legal ways. This is for me. This was great. But I'm sorry.
So I
didn't mean to
think
interrupt you.
she goes up to the hill and meet the monks after she, I think they're monks or whatever they're called.
The
Priests,
priests,
excuse
yeah.
me.
It's okay.
And basically, she's like, oh well, you know, you did what you had to, but there's got to be some sacrifice of some kind, and she sacrifices her voice for a year. That's what I understood.
It's the
anyway.
Jehovahn sorcery, primarily,
Yeah.
which
The
allows her
stones.
to do allows her to practice mind control.
Which is what she did with the
Yeah.
guy at the
Yeah,
beginning to
yeah.
purchase the fish.
Because
in
he
the
was
first place.
it was selling at exorbitant prices. Like again, and I'm not justifying anything, but what a real life example.
But she uses it on the person to purchase the fish, but technically she also uses it on her uncle because you're also not supposed to consume the fish.
Right.
Either, even if it makes
Yes.
it better.
Yes.
I do
It's
really
just-
think she did the right thing.
I didn't like this. Is a science fiction out of a completely different science fiction direction.
I can yeah, you're right.
I
Absolutely.
would say it's kind of more fantasy.
I mean, it is.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
everything.
leans towards more fantasy, but this isn't. When you think science fiction, you think of space, and you think of you know, like
My
planets
ancestors.
and all kinds of
This
stuff. But
could very-
here, you're thinking more about like culture, and you're thinking more of rules, and you're thinking more of stuff like that. And I just
regulations and
thought it was very different.
ethical dilemmas.
Ethical dilemmas.
But you know what? I want to take it a step further. It's like we're using a real life scenario, a medicine that a friend of mine takes, and I have permission to say this. His medicine is $10,000. I can totally understand that he might have to do a little unethical stuff to obtain the medicine, so he can actually not live in a box. And I'm just putting that out there.
That's all.
And that's
You know,
yes.
these are
And he has decent, not good, but he's decent insurance. $10,000 at the
That's a
pharmacy.
lot of money.
How does one do it? So ethically, yes, I pay. But
Mind control
realistically,
It brings up
realistically,
a lot
it's
of
a
ethical
dilemma.
concerns.
it's
a
there.
dilemma.
Realistically, what are you gonna do?
You have to pick. It's like
You need the medicine to live. You have to get the medicine.
it's a
You have a right
concept
to
of
it.
life and rules, basically.
Mhm.
You wanted to say something, Dan?
Just
I
saying.
was like, it's like she's the mind controlled, for like $1, or like whatever their
She bid
currency.
him down and then
Yeah.
engaged in. There's a method that she used. Oh,
Called the
pitch,
tongue.
pitch curl,
Bitch
snatch.
curl snatch.
Yeah.
And
I did
the
that
way
once.
that she first it was started out at 9, then went down to 8, then 6, and then it was 1 for 3, and because she had the mind control, he just went with it.
Mhm.
You
And
know,
the
the
way-
words came spilling out of him like uncontrolled
Defecation.
defecation.
Yeah, I remember that.
Or-
part.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's an
Gee, I don't know
unforgettable line.
That's
Yeah,
one
that
of Josh's
really
books. Everybody
Mine said
defecated.
vomit.
That was
The,
disgusting.
It
And
was,
there's an
but it was,
example for
but
it.
it was memorable too. It
Oh,
stuck
yeah,
out.
it's memorable, all right.
No.
But
How do I obtain this?
I would say that
Defecation.
I think that they incorporate a lot of the. I thought about so many different religions, and I think that Amal Singh had a lot of them in mind as he put this together. The certain rules as far as if you take them and put them to extremities. What if you are actually breaking the rules by doing something that's supposed to benefit somebody? I mean, my opinion is probably echoing everybody, where I think she did the right thing.
She did.
Even if
I guess she did.
it caused other people to break rules, it wasn't. They're doing it for their own. They're doing it for
to help
to-
another
just to
person.
live.
They're not doing it for themselves. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's not like it's not for and legal, not for pecuniary. I can't say it right. Pecuniary. It's not for your own personal wealth satisfaction. Look what I can do. It's like I wanted to help somebody, and the only way to do it was be a little unethical or take out a few other, just do a few other things. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, even that
outside
has a
the lines.
border, but
you know,
And I mean, the reason that the priestess gave for why the Karantha fish was forbidden was because it swam in the dirty parts of the Waku Sea.
Yeah,
And
it was before technology made them edible, it seemed
Yes,
yeah,
eventually.
was it like that
yeah.
stuff they dip them in or something like that
Yeah.
changes its formula or
Oh,
things
yeah,
like
yeah,
then
You
after
dunk it in
after
something.
that the thing is it becomes okay for them to eat because the things now their bodies can handle it.
But yet the religion did not recognize it. However,
Yeah.
as far as the gods were concerned, they didn't care.
Yeah.
But,
But
the
it-
gods cared
there were
about
just-
the
the
about
one
someone else
thing I-
breaking this.
They cared about
Yeah.
saving lives,
Yeah.
which is why they initiated that rule in the first place. But then now that the rule's not necessary anymore because they can convert it. And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's like
The gods didn't care about that aspect, but they did care about the fact that she caused someone else to break the rules.
Yeah.
yeah. And
What do you
Because
mean?
she
Oh,
used
because
the
she
mind
used the
control
mind
to help
control.
it.
The
Free
mind-
will.
and the fact that her uncle ate the Karantha fish.
So-
I didn't pick up on that.
yeah, no.
I mean, I thought it was the mind control seemed like it was the more obvious one, but that was probably the one that she.
In a way, it's
Easy,
like
more out- yeah.
when you're in hospital, pull the plug or not. And
Mhm.
It really should be the person's choice, not
yeah.
your choice.
Yeah, and then the person that actually if the uncle broke a rule, then he would be the one to be responsible. Like I'm
Technically,
But yet,
I don't think he broke any
if
rule.
they-
I think
No,
he was
I know.
forced
If
to.
he was, why was the fishmonger selling the fish anyway? If it was if he was sinning, he wouldn't have been allowed to sell the fish in the first place. He wouldn't have had it there.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's a multicultural
So-
environment where some
That's probably
people
what
are
it
allowed-
was, because
Yeah.
if he sold. So the question is, I think it was more so the uncle eating it, which eating
Well,
it
no,
for
but-
them would be.
But like maybe mind control in itself is
Mhm.
looked at as something that you shouldn't do.
I mean, I viewed it as the thing is that the mind control was the problem. The thing is they didn't care about the fish, the gods.
Yeah.
But also, I'm gonna be honest with you. I found the story very boring. I did not like this at all. So me, with what I have to really say about this is that I do believe she did the right thing. I can understand the themes of the story, but I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually hop on Dan here because I thought it was a very simple concept and I thought it was a good storyline, but there were just too many made up words.
Yeah, first of all, half the
I
names
think
in
part of
words
it-
I
couldn't
understand.
follow.
I understand, but when you have
Wait,
when you're world building, that's better for a novel rather than a short story. Which I felt that this was a little bit too short for. I wanted to know what are these? What do they call Assyrians? Whatever they were called. What's their religion? What are they all about? What do they do? I want to know more background.
Yeah, I want to know
information.
Yeah,
what
it's
that
all very
planet
surface
system that she
level.
mentioned. and
I
things
left
that
the
different
story.
powers that they all
I
had.
liked the story, but I want more. I want to know about the backgrounds. I want to know about what planet they're on, if they're even on Earth. We don't know. I want to know. I want to know
where they
all
are.
that kind of stuff, and I feel like it's a very basic lesson. I'm not saying it's a bad story at all, and I don't think it's boring as like Dan said, but I think that there was just a lot of what's the word?
Monday.
Lore that was.
It was a lot of lore that could have been explained that wasn't, and it was a little bit confusing.
I think you're both wrong, but that's besides the
What I
point.
did wrong?
I think that this. I think that it was.
What
no,
you think I'm wrong on saying it's a good
I,
story?
no, I disagree with both of you.
Oh, so you think it's not a good story?
I think it's. I disagree that.
Oh,
no,
there's
no,
too
no.
many. Okay,
That-
okay.
No, I disagree that you both were not fans.
Me?
I was a fan. I was a
I
fan
was
of it.
a-
I felt there could have been more. That's all.
Okay, I was a fan, and I think that it was what it needed to be for this circumstance, where this I think was more about. It was a lot about its message. I mean, it would have been. I think that this could be elevated into something
They should make this into a movie.
longer.
This could
However,
be a movie, honestly.
as a short story, I think it did a lot to be able to, because it even went beyond. I think that if it was the former concept where it just had to do with her quest to getting the fish,
It would be much shorter.
I think it would have been.
Yes.
I don't think it would have been as intriguing as this being the fact that she achieves her goal quickly, but yet has to pay the consequences because of
That
the
I'll
religion
agree
that's
with
in
you on.
place.
I thought it was interesting that it was it almost felt like two separate stories, like one directly following another. I felt it was interesting because when I started, I was about halfway through, and I'm reading. I'm like, wait a minute, now she's going up a hill. Why is she going up a hill?
That's the
What's
penance.
That's her
that's
yeah.
the penance, and then I
Three-way
realized,
penance.
oh, okay, no.
Yeah.
But it was just, it didn't feel added on at all. It just felt like an extra wrinkle in the story, which it did enjoy that.
Yeah, well, it did. It deepened it because you're finding it's interesting because it's a critique of a fictitious religion, which is difficult to look at, And I don't know, what the religious worldview is of the person that wrote it, but I'm guessing it's something Eastern.
He is from India.
Yeah, so maybe Hinduism.
It was
That's
a
why
little,
they
it was
get
a little
all
too
weird
much, but it was good. I like the concept.
Yeah, but I think that the critique is fair. If you have an arbitrary religious belief that is completely arbitrary and does not have any basis in anything other than, well, if it comes from the water, don't eat it.
Why
I mean,
not?
that's it, right. That's
But we're
just,
also taught not to question.
Well, I don't eat
Ew.
seafood.
We will always.
Isn't that
I mean,
similar to where the reason that Jewish people don't eat pig products because of the pigs don't have the sweat glands or the way that they.
I thought
It does have to do with certain body parts, but not the sweat glands.
I thought it had to do with like the fact they were hooved.
Yeah, it has to
Okay.
do with that.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm
if
safe.
the certain animals need to be killed properly, and then certain animals have to have certain qualities. Like it needs to have force stomach, it needs to chew their cud, it needs to explode.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but, like,
yeah.
But I don't even eat seafood anyway, so I definitely identified with. I mean, I wouldn't be eating any Karantha fish or any type of fish.
How
Wait,
about
don't they
if,
have to
how
cook
about
the fish?
how about
Is
if
that a
it
Jewish thing?
how about if it was
It is a Jewish thing,
if
I
it was
don't
the
eat
only if it was the best way for you to survive?
if you have,
Well, yeah. I mean, if I was dying and someone said the Charlie Galizia fish is the only way you can survive, I would bite his head off in a second.
Run away, Charlie.
Sorry.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
right.
He is the model
He'd
for
never go hungry.
Starkist.
But
It'd be-
it's just interesting.
I mean,
because-
you'd be biting into a chocolate. It's like this chocolate. Well,
I don't even want to know what I'd be biting into. Thank you very much.
starfish.
But I mean, it was like a fish. But the point is that yes, like if it was to save
Chocolate
save
bunny.
myself or save
Hollow
someone else,
chocolate.
then yeah. But like I just don't eat fish for different reasons.
I just don't like fish. It's
Actually-
terrible.
it's like
you have to build a tolerance, and it depends on how it's cooked. Because I want fish now. Anyway, but
It just
anyway.
tastes terrible. That's why I
Well,
don't like it.
it's you gotta.
the structured element, and I need
it's
fish
like
now.
at first
Yeah, I like
there's
that.
this arbitrary. It seems like just this arbitrary rule, where okay, it comes from the sea, therefore you can't eat it because the God said so. So she's like, well, my uncle needs it, so I'm gonna get it. So she gets it for him. He eats it, and then she has to go and meet the priestess, right? And there's like this disconnectedness too, in this religion that these people believe in, where the gods do not make their wishes known, right? Like she goes up and she's like, okay, well, it turns out that it's not an arbitrary thing. There's a reason why we don't want you to eat the Karantha fish, and it's because they're poisonous. But now that they're not poisonous, we don't care if you eat the fish.
Yeah.
Right? But there's like, you see what I mean? There's this detachment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where the gods are disconnected in a way from
They're on their
the people
iPhones.
living their lives. And that's that's something that
I can see that.
that's something where I am grateful to be Catholic, because we have a living magisterium, so that as these questions unfold through time and new ethical dilemmas come up due to whatever, we have the magisterium to tell us.
Is
You
that
know
like
what-
the Pope?
Yeah, well, it's the Pope and it's the teaching authority of the Church.
But also,
Of
it's
which
like
the Pope is the head.
in the religion in that world, the thing is like it seems the things that I don't know how recent like the whole changing the fishes thing by dipping in that sauce changes it, or how recent it is. But it seems the thing is that they don't seem to acknowledge that actually exists. That there's a way to there's a way to make the fish non-poisonous, so that way what were they called, the Saurians?
Sorens, yeah.
The Saurians can actually eat it.
Well, then again, if there's like the mind control magic thing, then there's probably some magic in that.
Yeah,
It's
you're not supposed
fancy.
to- you're not supposed to use
It's
it,
what Josh was saying. Like I felt it was like a borderline science fiction fantasy.
What I was
It
kind
is
of.
more fancy.
Oh my god.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
I think
No, it's okay.
the names of the places are very fictional.
A lot of these names were very hard for me.
Do
to
we
pronounce,
think
yeah.
this took place on another planet? I'm just curious.
I'm pretty sure it
I-
did, because the
or
things
another
they
dimension.
mentioned a different planet.
And the seas are different.
They had 2 moons.
Oh, that's true because they said one of them
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah.
So do
There
I.
you go. That settles that.
But
Yeah.
We
I
only
think
have
that
one.
the major
In case you pay
I think the
attention.
major theme to this piece is that what matters most is that you're a good person and you're
Your motives.
yeah, the fact that
Good.
you're living your life with the greatest interests of others in mind.
And I think that the consequence. I'm sorry, Charlie.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I think that things that there was a paragraph on page 85 that that really stuck out to me, and that it said, and I quote, while she was going up the mountain. She stopped for a rest. For a passing second, she felt like Auntie Elda, thinking the gods were testing her. That's what Auntie would have said had she agreed to make the perilous climb. But now it was up to Kalpana to prove that she could make mature decisions, born of empathy for her loved ones. Kalpana's mother had taught both her and Nishta the tenets of sacrifice, and what it meant for those you loved, what tradition truly meant. And no, Kalpana had not ruined any tradition. She had not broken any rule. Yes, she felt rage at the blindness of it, the cruelty of it, but she was also curious. Why were things the way they were? Mm-hmm. And you could also argue that she sacrificed her standing for the well-being of somebody else, even though the
forced well-being of somebody else, which obviously is a little wrinkle.
She cared for her uncle, so it wasn't like.
And what if he wanted to live?
Yeah.
That's the thing. What if he wanted to live? And what I was trying to say, tune in next week, Charlie finally gets what he wants to say. I wanted to say, what god or goddess or whatever higher being would be so, oh my god, I must inflict pain and suffering on them, firstborns, oh god, because they broke a little rule, because they did a little something that they shouldn't have. Maybe
Passover.
Well, I mean, yes, there are rules for reasons. I feel too, but also the early church said
those Egyptians were warned how many times?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I saw the Prince of Egypt. I know what happens.
Yeah, that's actually a really good telling of it.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know how God can, like, personally speaking, I don't know how, like, a God who's so merciful, who loves everyone, this and that, but says, well, yeah, you killed somebody, but it was self-defense, but
I think that goes.
Shan't kill. Down you go.
That goes into a religious.
Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, and I'm not trying to open that can of worms or fish. I'm not trying to open up that barrel of fish there. But what I'm trying to get at is like, what kind of God would want, like, in their eyes, what's the view of justice in a God deity's eyes? That's not in, like, you're just building what you said earlier, the disconnect. Well, the gods, are they with us? Are they with them too? I do feel kind of, yes, I did need a little bit more, just like a tiny bit more background, but overall I thought it was really good. Well written, well done, but I wish I did know a little bit more about their, shall we say, their upbringing or their norms.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Just a little tiny bit.
I think they did what they were able to for
I agree with
the platform that they had, because it's a short story.
And that's the thing. A short story is.
I want to mail Singe and say, dear Singe, I want you to make this into a story, like an actual book.
But like what?
Because I feel like it could be so much more explored.
Yeah,
it can be, and I think he did. I think he did a great job with being able to flesh out it feels. It was another world. It was a group of characters, give them a religion that we have a general idea about.
Yes.
Create a conflict, create multiple conflicts.
Yay!
And solutions to how each problem can be resolved, and then an aftermath to how Kalpana responds to it.
Yeah, and
I just have to say this to with Josh, what he said. Yes, it feels like another world. However, I feel he didn't do anything with that. You give us all this lore, like they have this magic. How's the magic system work? I want to know more about this religion. What is this thing about a whole other system that people have gone to? Can we get something about that?
More
I feel
crabs,
things that you
more
had
crabs.
lore, but he didn't do anything with it, which is why I found it incredibly boring because we just focused on fish.
I think. I mean, he did. She
More.
did. In the exchange for being able to get the fish, she wanted stories, and I think that through the stories that her uncle told her, I think we get decent sense for what a short story has to offer.
Yeah, but I want to see more. I want to see that stuff.
The three of us want more, Mr. Singe. So you better make more, because that means we love it so much. We want more.
You can.
I say I like that.
We
I
can
find more.
definitely make this more.
Expand.
It's just that. That means it's good because we
Exactly.
because we enjoy it so much. We want to see this world be expanded upon.
I feel it would have been better.
How
if
about
it was a
another?
novel.
How about a sequel? Or 20 years later.
Doesn't necessarily. I think it.
Or
I'm
another
just
story.
putting it out
How
there.
about just another
I gotta
story
go, I
set
got-
in the same universe?
That I think would make more sense.
Yeah.
Or just like the Martian Chronicles, where you have multiple stories set among the Asurans, or just a history of the Asurans and how the
We'll make lore
Karantha
of
fish
this.
became.
This could be
uh,
like the next Star Wars.
How it became forbidden among the Asuran people, and then how the different sanitizing liquid allowed for it to be edible, but yet not recognized by the religion.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the ecclesiastics of it. Like, who is it? Yeah. But like just how the church is run. Like, why are the priestesses like up in the mountains not knowing that people are eating
That's
fish?
the good
And
thing.
why are-
And they even said that God sometimes misses stuff.
Yeah. And why?
Because I jokingly say sometimes God's on his iPhone. I don't mean that. I mean, 20 years ago I get smacked across the face for saying that. But now, thanks, Mom. But it's like
20 years ago, people would say, "What's an iPhone?"
Well, that's
What's
but
that?
you know what, it's like not even 20 years ago, but still, it's like, it's like, is God on his iPhone? Dear God, hey, help, but that's what I'm like. Wow, and then you look down, and it's like, they're fine. There's just 9 wars going on and 9 earthquakes. But all joking aside, it's like there's as you said, when you said disconnect, bells and whistles and squeaky toys went off in my head.
I think what would be interesting is...
I rest my case.
It can feel that way.
I think what would be interesting is different instances. Like we have Kalpana's but different instances where the Asuran rules are broken, or different examples of
Like a couple different moral compass.
instances that take place within within the
Ethical
religion.
compass.
See, if it was like,
And it doesn't have to be just laws being broken. It could be like different processes.
I see.
Like-
Okay, so I would agree with you on that. Because the thing is, if there was more to the story than just what we got, I probably would have liked it a lot more. Like if we get like, for example, iRobot. It's a bunch of stories set in the same universe around like the same rules and principles, like the 3 laws of robotics. If they had another, like if it was like a collection of short stories like that about these certain people and the thing is all the stuff that they go through, then I could have ended up liking it. It's just the thing is this one book. I feel the thing is that there was so much that wasn't used, and I just found the story to be incredibly boring. I did not care about Kalpana and her uncle. I was just like, cool, let him die. The disease sounds way cooler in her
I
life.
think the best way to word this is that
They turn to glass. That sounds awesome. I want to see that.
I think the best way to word this is that we all love the
They're not real.
story, but we want more.
I
Except
think
Dan doesn't seem to really care for the story itself.
Dan wants more.
If you give me more, the thing is, maybe it would be better, and this would just be like, okay, this is just like one of those meh chapters of stories. Like, there's a lot of series where I like, I like short stories. Like, H.G. Wells is my favorite author. I don't like every single work that he's written. I feel some of his stories kind of meh. But the thing is, like, everything else that he's written, I do like. So I feel like if there was more set in this world, I could end up liking the series itself.
We like it enough.
But the
Please
thing is, it would just be the story. But just the fact that it's just this, I don't like this.
I have a stuff over here last
I don't
night.
even have a drum set.
Yeah, I'm sure you
What's that?
don't.
Already
I'm
then.
sorry, I did not mean to say that.
Do we have any final thoughts?
One final thought I just want to mention
You'll say the M word.
is about
How's that word?
the consequences. Is that is that it really highlights gray areas in ethical and moral concerns, which is kind of why I like it. But at the same time, it's Kalpana doing something she really should do at the cost of choice. the
will.
person's
I,
choice.
kind,
Free will.
I would say I agree with the direction
Free
you're
will.
going, because I think that there are a lot of instances where, when it comes to, there really is the most important thing when it comes to treating any kind of illness, be it cancer or a flu, as long as it's not deliberately hurting anybody, you should be able to take the direction that you feel is most effective for you at any given time. I feel that I just believe in the whole your body, your choice, and that applies for as long as it's not deliberately hurting anybody. And if you feel that it is the best way for you to get better or for someone else to get better,
And they want to
that's
get
the
better.
direction you take.
Yeah. Because, like I said, these sticks, they're thick, but I'm about to snap them too right now. It's like, you take a sociology class, you take a psychology course, and one of the first things, is the question, or ethics course. The medicine or the cure is, XYZ amount, and do you steal it or do you just pay for it and be poor the rest of your life? It's something along those lines. Every law course should start off like this. Every criminal law course should start off like every ethics, anything like that should, I feel. And just even as a discussion should start. Because the thing I'm trying to get at is, with a legal background, people are doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, and sometimes you just can't blame them. And I'm not saying things right now, but sometimes things happen, and it's unfortunate, but
Like I said,
when you
instead
put,
instead of breaking the
I
drumsticks
don't mean
in
to,
half,
yeah.
you
No,
can
no.
rip my arm off
I would
instead,
never,
so
ever,
you
no.
don't break the drumsticks.
No, these, your arm is more, I would be causing you pain and suffering, and I could be, I don't want to do that to you.
It's okay.
I rather, these are inanimate objects, like something else I have on me. But anyway.
You admit those are inanimate objects!
Yeah. But not my drums. My drums love me very much.
I got him to say it.
These drums, I feel drums can love you back. But anyway, all I'm going to say on that note is...
Got him to say it.
I got one
Well,
topic here.
what do you want to say, Larry?
I'm done. I rest my case. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not practicing law, but there you go.
There are laws, and but
Oi.
also, yes, like I believe, and I think the church teaches this, but I'm not 100% sure on this, but like if you need food to survive, you have a right to take the food from somebody.
I believe so.
If like they have
Yes.
more than they need, and you can live off of it, and
Yes.
you need it to live, then you can do that. And I think it would be the same thing with the medicine, so that if there is a medicine that you need, and or you'll die, you have a right to that.
And I will say this furthermore, in a court, please, this is, as I said, even though I have legal training, this is not legal advice, this is not legal one-on-one, but if somebody has, like you just said too, we were built on a nation, so we were all taught since we were old enough to walk, we were built on a nation about, Christian moral principles and
We were
helping one another. Well, still, yes, we were, no, we weren't.
Historically, no.
Yeah, well, but you have those principles of helping my fellow neighbor, helping this person, and doing the right thing. But it's like, oh my goodness gracious, this can open up a whole nother can of tuna fish there. Or just a Karantha fish. Yeah.
Karantha fish.
But,
Comes in a can.
Yeah.
Canned Karantha.
Oh
Good
my
for
God.
a girl, good for a man.
Yep. And good for anyone in between. I don't know. But like what I was saying is, it's...
Sounds like an infomercial.
Oh God! Oh yeah, right. Just it makes you wonder. It makes you really say to myself, for me too. It's like, do I really? Oh boy, makes you scratch your head. And I think it did a really good job at provoking that, even if it was unintentional.
No, I think it was intentional.
Yeah,
I think
but
it was.
well, yeah. No, I'm saying if it was, but
Yeah.
again, yeah. If somebody has if you have to steal bread to live. Or in some cases, where I'm not sure at my church, I've seen money go missing because somebody can't afford. They just take $10 and they want to turn themselves in. But all I'm getting at is,
Take a penny, leave a penny.
yeah, but they can't. They don't have a penny to leave.
Nice.
And it's I personally, I say nothing as long as I can tell that they're truly destitute. But the courts sometimes don't see it that way.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah,
supposed
well,
that's what I was
justice-
trying to get at.
Justice
But that's a
blind.
whole
You have to pay for it.
nother
Yeah, and I'm
can of cream.
My-
And
my-
again,
my-
I rest my case.
My final thought
I case
is
and I rest.
for a work that everybody thought was for a work that everybody had a lot. You guys certainly had a lot to say and think about.
But we
I
need
think we need-
more!
Yeah, I tell you, Josh,
I
the
think that's-
story is a journey. I started it, and I was
I
like,
think we need to go
All right.
visit this again.
I see where
sometime
this
in
is
the future.
going.
Yes,
I
this
don't
would
like
be this would be a good revisitation.
I said, I see where this is going. I don't like
Maybe.
it when I started it. Then I got to the middle. I was like, okay. And then I got to the
I'm
middle,
done.
and I was like, wait a minute. The words spilled out of him like what?
Yeah. And then you're suddenly interested.
Explosive,
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with me. Like halfway
like
through.
explosive defecation. But then I'm into the house, and I'm like, okay, this isn't over. We're getting deeper. And then by the time she gets up to the mountain, it's like, wow, this is actually asking some pretty deep philosophical
Yeah,
questions.
I wanted to know
Yeah.
more.
I think the fact that her actions came with consequences, I think, was very powerful.
Yeah.
And that it's not like having a Jervin sorcery doesn't mean just because you have it doesn't mean you're always going to get what you want.
Yeah.
Same could be said with money too.
But if you try some time to get what you
Yeah.
need.
Mm-hmm. But I am glad that she cared about her family
Yes.
and that her uncle got the help he needed.
And if
thought
I was-
it was a good group of
Exactly.
characters.
Yeah.
And if I was one of those guys,
I even
I'd
like
say
the sister.
enough.
Mm.
It's
Yeah, the
okay.
sister was she was a good
Absolved.
foil, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it just when she realized what was going on, it just because Kalpana even changed, she became much more wiser and quieter, more composed rather than
And I'm glad she got a voice.
And more
back.
humble.
yeah. I
I'm
would
glad
say
she
that
got
too.
a voice
Yeah.
back. If
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, she got it about
Because-
a year later.
Yeah. I mean,
The only thing she could do is do the Avhesti chant.
The humming.
God, don't ask me.
It was the only sound that she could make.
she
Yeah,
should
yeah,
have still
for a
been
year.
able to talk though, like fully, because
No, she can only scream.
Alrighty.
the punishment has to fit the crime. Anyway, I'm done.
Okay then, if you are interested in reading this short story,
I'd be a chameleon
which
person.
you should. Here is a Here I got it from the November-December 2023 edition of Fantasy and Science Fiction. This is a very powerful and thought-provoking short story. It's gonna want you. You're gonna be
But
asking
the
for
camera
more.
is pointed a different way. We're gonna have some problems here. Yeah, sticks. Drumsticks.
Alrighty then,
Do you subscribe to that magazine?
I was subscribed to the magazine.
Yeah.
I'm currently not subscribed to any literary or magazines with stories in them because I have so many of them and I need to get through them.
Yeah.
So I might want to, if I return to anything, I definitely want to return to fantasy and science fiction. I got to meet the publisher. It was Gordon Van Gelder. He is he's the publisher.
I've got a song stuck in my head. That's why I'm.
I'm sitting on my phone. I just realized because I don't have pockets.
It's literally in my head. It's just Mr. Singe, make more. Mr. Singe, make more. Mr. Singe, make more. And it's just stuck in my head.
Alrighty then, be sure to join us next time on another episode of
Make
Very
more.
Gladiators.
Karantha!
Now,
Make more.
keep reading.